Hey everyone, welcome to the weekly wrap only on KENS 5 Plus. I'm your host, Audrey Castoreno. We come to you this week with a heavy heart because we're focusing on the devastating floods in the Texas Hill Country. Dozens of adults and children have died over the 4th of July holiday, and several are still missing. Organizations are helping in the search and recovery efforts, and Governor Greg Abbott also toured Kerrville this week to assess the damage. He has ordered Texas flags be flown at half-staff to honor the victims. Kerr County is holding those deceased individuals in a secured, centralized location, but they need your help to identify those bodies. Here's what you need to know. The recovered victims are being held at the Grimes Funeral Chapel, but officials are not letting people in. Family members need to contact the county at this number or email and provide physical description of their loved ones, maybe even a picture. After that, people on site will then identify an individual and contact next of kin. The chapel now has multiple morgue expansion trailers to help serve additional people. The Texas Funeral Directors Association also tells KENS 5 some of those deceased individuals were also moved to San Antonio over the weekend. Meanwhile, once those bodies are recovered, there is the grim task of identifying them. There are several people officials still don't know who they are, so the Texas Rangers are collecting DNA samples and sending them to North Texas. According to DPS, the Center for Human Identification at the University of North Texas Health Science Center is assisting in those efforts. Now, this is video from this facility in Fort Worth. According to the state, crews are taking DNA samples from the deceased and family members. Those samples are then flown to the UNT campus to be tested. DPS says they will get answers in hours, not days, and hopes to bring closure and information to loved ones. And with widespread damage to roads and homes, residents are beginning the process of assessing the damage to their properties and trying to salvage what they can. And that as they grieve the loss of neighbors and loved ones. Rania Kaur has one woman's story as she continues to clean up her neighborhood.
Behind me, you can see just how powerful this flood truly was. These trees, which were once tall, are now completely bent. And we now know that a victim from Hunt's belongings were found here in Kerrville. Everywhere you look, someone has been impacted. It's a grim reality.
Almost everybody that I talk to in town knows someone.
As the number of those that have lost their lives in this flood continues to grow, Debbie Knable is processing the loss of a member of her church.
I woke up at 6 and I knew that our road was covered in about over 3 feet of water and that we couldn't drive out. And within 4 hours of that, I knew that she had been found dead in her house and her son had been airlifted. And her funeral's this Saturday.
She lives right across the Guadalupe River, where trees have bent, intertwining with debris and other items.
It's real difficult every time I walk out of the house, seeing the change in the river and knowing how many people have died. So it's just like a mild shock.
She rode out the storm.
The police were back going from house to house saying, you have a small window to get out safely. And so I drove away with my stuff, but I chose the wrong gate, got stuck in mud, and decided to come back home and just hunker down.
Their neighborhood now cleaning up with the help of volunteers.
You've been through a lot. I've been through a little in comparison. Yeah, it's like nothing.
Rania Kaur, KENS 5.
It's a heartbreaking situation. The weekly wrap is back after this.
Go ahead. Take a look at the faces of San Antonio Zone. When you look into their eyes, you see passion, you see hard work, you see familia. Generations of people who embody a rich culture of respect, honor, and originality. We're all in San Antonio. But more importantly, San Antonio is in us. It's what makes us special. It's why we're proud to be San Antonio's own.
A broken vehicle fixed after 5 months of no help.
Kens 5 made it 100% better.
A busted windshield fixed after getting the runaround from a contractor.
And you guys did it. Y'all were amazing.
A much-needed tax refund this man couldn't access. Yep, fixed.
Kens 5 actually helped me out quite a lot, actually.
Have a consumer problem you can't solve? Call Kens. Weekdays at 6 on Kens 5.
Got a problem, call Kens. They will solve the problem.
My name is Sue Kalberg, and I am a journalist for Kens 5 for 22 years. I think it's been an awesome privilege to be able to work in the town that I grew up in. My uncle, Rex Stanley, was the very, 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 very first guy hired at Kens 5. From the beginning, I said, you can get paid for that? Let me in. It fills my heart to be a part of the Kens family, because the Kens family is the San Antonio family.
I am San Antonio's own Sue Kalberg.
We want to get you breaking news right now.
Here, let me show you the police activity. New insight into a deadly police shooting.
We just got an update from fire officials. We'll continue to keep you updated.
Stream extended coverage, live or on demand, right here on Kens 5 Plus.
From south of the border to the Texas Hill Country, dozens of firefighters from Mexico are on the ground desperately trying to find the missing. This drone video gives a good idea on what their searches look like. These crews are up against rough terrain and debris all over from the place. Now, this group is called Fundación 911, and they're from Acuña, which is on the other side of the border of Del Rio. Now, these fire crews are familiar with doing water rescues and recovery operations. One firefighter says they're ready to go at a moment's notice.
We're brothers. There's no flags or countries in between firefighters. We're humans, and we're helping humans. That's what matters.
The firefighters aren't going anywhere. They plan to be in the Hill Country for several more weeks. In the wreckage left behind by the flood, something unexpected has shown up in Hunt. Help from those who never forgot. Barbecue pits rolled in from Rockport, brought by folks that the Hunt store owner Haley Lerman once helped raise money for after Hurricane Harvey in 2017. The Hunt store was destroyed by the deadly flood only a few days ago on 4th of July. Now, the volunteers from Rockport are now smoking briskets and feeding families.
I mean, it looks like everybody's in pretty good spirits. Huh?
Yeah, we're definitely getting more encouraged with just being together.
The volunteers are serving 3 meals a day, no questions asked. They say they'll keep cooking for as long as it takes. And as the waters recede, questions are beginning to be raised. Folks in Kerr County are now petitioning for an early warning siren system, hoping to forever prevent something like this from happening again. County records show such a system was discussed nearly 9 years ago. So what happened? Kens 5's Andrew Moore shows us what the county already knew and why the push for a better system failed.
If you look at emergency situations in Kerr County, there are 2 primary ones that are high probability: fire and flood.
When Kerr County officials saw the flooding in nearby Wimberley in 2015, then Commissioner Tom Moser wanted to look at warning systems for their county.
What we could do better.
In 2016, Moser told other commissioners at the Commissioner's Court the system Kerr County had at the time was pretty antiquated and marginal at best. And he went on to say we are probably the highest risk area in the state for flooding. Other officials also knew the risk, with the sheriff at the time saying people don't know what this river can do. A county engineer then put together a plan with river sensors and sirens. But that plan ran into 2 roadblocks.
There were people that objected to the concept of having sirens.
First, Moser says not everyone in the community wanted sirens. Second, and more importantly, the plan would cost more than $1 million, and the county couldn't get any grants to help pay for it for years.
The county put in the budget for several years what it would take if we were to get that grant, the funds that we needed to complement, do our share of that,
But now, after the horrifying flooding on July 4th, the state may pay for a system in full. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick's office told us this will come up in the special session. The state will provide emergency warning sirens where needed. Governor Abbott brought it up to Lieutenant Governor Patrick yesterday morning. Lieutenant Governor Patrick is completely supportive and is confident there will be strong support in the legislature. Moser hopes the current county officials will be able to move quickly and use that support.
Let this be a catalyst. Move forward on a comprehensive project.
Andrew Moore, KENS 5.
Governor Abbott has announced that this issue will be a top priority at the special session that starts on July 21st. For the full interview with former Commissioner Moser, it's streaming right now, right here on KENS 5+. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
Go ahead. Take a look at the faces of San Antonio Zone. When you look into their eyes, you see passion, you see hard work, you see familia, generations of people who embody a rich culture of respect, honor, and originality. We're all in San Antonio, but more importantly, San Antonio is in us. It's what makes us special. It's why we're proud to be San Antonio's own.
Talked to this police officer, and she told me to call KENS 5.
Every week, KENS 5 is looking out for San Antonio's own.
The next day after you left, they sent a professional AC guy, and my AC is working now.
If you've been wronged by someone,
it was shocking. Clearly, something went wrong.
Or a business,
I couldn't believe it was happening.
Just call KENS. Weekdays at 6, only on KENS 5.
I got my vehicle back. I'm rolling again, so call KENS 5 to help you if you need help too.
Born and raised on the northwest side of San Antonio, Texas. Generations of my family have been from this part of Texas. I have Fiesta roots, I have Spurs roots, I have Texas Fighter roots. Played basketball at Clark. Basketball was a huge part of my life for 16 years. My comfort dish, a plate of chilaquiles with salsa verde. I grew up watching KENS 5. I am who I am because of this beautiful city. I hope that they can find a sense of pride knowing that their creation is helping deliver them the most important news of the day. I'm Alicia Nieves, and I'm proud to be from this beautiful city.
If you want a meal that will make you say,
So good!
That is fantastic.
catch Neighborhood Eats, where we find the best local restaurants. Streaming now on KENS 5+.
Welcome back to the weekly wrap. Cadaver dogs are playing a critical role in the search and recovery efforts in Kirk County, and there is a need for more dogs. KENS 5's Mike Jimenez spoke with the Forensic Anthropology Center at Texas State, who gave us insight into their role.
The cadaver dogs are very invaluable when you're doing searches.
Dr. Michael Ben Alexander, canine training coordinator for the Forensic Anthropology Center at Texas State, says when the searches for the missing began, he was contacted by local officials.
We were able to help find teams to come in.
Teams from Tennessee, Louisiana, and Kansas have been called in to aid in search efforts. Dr. Alexander says these teams were trained at Texas State.
The biggest thing that we provide is the opportunity for handlers to work their dogs on whole bodies, fresh bodies, decomposed bodies, mummified bodies, bodies basically in various stages of decomposition.
Brenda Peak, canine handler with Texas EquuSearch, is currently assisting in search and recovery efforts in Kirk County. She says cadaver dogs are key in their searches.
We use drones. We use boats and sonar equipment, but with cadavers, they can maneuver in and under and through and get on top of things that some equipment can't get to.
When dogs pick up on a scent, experts say they will have a reaction or a change of behavior.
There's a bark alert. That's where the dog is in human remains and will alert you by barking at the human remains. There's a sit alert. My particular dog is a bark alert. There's sitting, there's lying down, and there's a stare.
Peak says with the amount of missing people that have been announced, she anticipates search operations taking weeks and even months.
It's most important why we do this, which is to find closure to families and find their lost loved ones.
Mike Jimenez, KENS 5.
Texas State did want us to clarify that they do not deploy cadaver dogs. They simply train them. They also say if you have a dog who is trained and you want to help, contact your local sheriff's office. And right now, state and federal authorities are warning flood victims of scammers. They say you need to be wary of contractors from out of the area. Don't rush into signing a contract and ask for references. And be sure to check with the Better Business Bureau to ensure that they're working with a trustworthy business. And with the flooding in Kerr County, city and county officials are partnering with local organizations to provide coordinated relief services to those affected. Salvation Army in Kerrville is accepting donations and looking for volunteers. If you're interested in helping out, call 830-465-4797 for more information. You can also drop off donations at their location at 855 Hayes Street. And the Community Foundation of the Texas Hill Country is also collecting donations, monetary ones, for the Kerr County Flood Relief Fund. You can donate online at communityfoundation.net. Just search for Kerr County Relief Fund, or you can donate a check by mail to their address. That's 241 Earl Garrett Street. Check should be made payable to Kerr County Flood Relief Fund. And speaking of help, we want to remind you about our program, Ken's Cares, and we're asking for your help to support recovery efforts there in the Hill Country. So right now you can scan the QR code right there on your screen to donate, and what you will give will go directly to those flood victims. Again, thank you for your generosity. We, along with our other sister stations across the state, have raised already more than $168,000. So thank you so much. This area is going to need a lot of love over the next weeks, months, years. And thanks for joining us here on this week's episode of the Weekly Wrap right here on KENS 5 Plus. We'll see you next week. You can always stay up to date on everything happening there in the Hill Country on KENS5.com, KENS 5 on air, or right here on KENS 5 Plus. We'll see you then.